Hi, it's Chris Westfall. You're on a Medicare Advantage plan and you want to go now to a Medicare Supplement. Unless you're in a certain state like New York, Connecticut, Vermont, then certain steps have to be taken in a certain order in order for you to do that. Number one, you have to apply for a Medicare Supplement to start at a certain time. We'll talk about the time frames as they're important here in just a moment. Secondly, you have to get approved for the Medicare Supplement to start at that point in the future. Then and only then do we apply for a Part D standalone drug plan to go with that supplement. That is the trigger, the Part D drug plan. That's the trigger that stops your Medicare Advantage plan. Because with Medicare up in Washington, you can either have a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part D standalone plan. You can't have both. So when you sign up for a Part D drug plan, that automatically cancels out the Medicare Advantage. But we don't want to do that or stop your Medicare Advantage plan until you're first approved at the Medicare Supplement, and unless you're in those certain states, that requires underwriting. Here's the timing of it, and here's what's critically important. If you want to do this by January 1 for the trigger date, for the effective date of January 1, we would have to have underwriting approval before December 7th. I know everybody in the world is doing everything before December 7th, and this may not be possible in your case. It's okay. There's also another period that starts January 1. So we have this gap of December 8th through January 1 where we can't really do anything. January 1 starts the open enrollment period. It's a new term that causes mass confusion. It's really known as the old disenrollment period. That's a period from January 1 to March 31 that you can get off of a Medicare Advantage plan if you want to. Again, critically important though that you don't get off the Medicare Advantage plan until and unless you're approved with a Medicare Supplement to take its place. That will bring you back to original Medicare with a standalone drug plan customized just for you and your list of drugs. And that only happens in the following order. If you want a February 1 or a March 1 effective date, we can do that. We just put that on the Medicare Supplement that we want it to be effective February 1 or March 1. That gives us a lot more time past December 7th. So there's no panic if you want to get off of a Medicare Advantage plan. Go back to a Medicare Supplement and original Medicare. We can do it for January if we do it by December 7th. We can do it for February if we do it and get approval by the end of January. And we can even do it for March if you do it all the way up to March. We could even do it at the end of March. The point is, we don't have the December 7th artificial deadline as the end-all, be-all to get off of Medicare Advantage, because we've got this new period, the disenrollment / open enrollment period from January 1 to March 31, where you could either change Medicare Advantage companies. You can't change Part D drug plans. You could change Medicare Advantage companies during that period, or you could go back to original Medicare. But again, and I'll say it for the fourth time, don't go back to original Medicare telling your Medicare Advantage you don't want them anymore until and unless you're approved at the next plan. So if we've missed the December deadline, December 7th, for a January switchover, it's not a big deal. We can still do it and apply for a February switchover. Everything works just the same. If we missed February, we could apply for a March switchover. And sometimes, in rare cases, we'll apply through medical underwriting for a Medicare Supplement, and that company may reject the application. So we have time then to pivot to a different company if we know that we would work at a different company. So we all have to remain calm during this crazy season. I know that. But just to let you know, lastly, in summary, if you want to go from Medicare Advantage to Medicare Supplement, we just have to get approved in a Medicare Supplement first, and the timing is not December 7th on that. That would be great if we could get thousands of people done in my small office for January 1. The point is, you don't have to do January 1. If you do nothing, then your existing plan, whatever their switch to January 1 would be, would roll you to that plan, but we still have time to apply for a February 1 effective date. Everything with Medicare Advantage and Part D plans happens on the 1st of the next month. So if you got approved for a Medicare Supplement and you told your Medicare Advantage you want to cancel them, the earliest they could do that is at the end of the month. So we look very carefully at the effective date that we are requesting for your Medicare Supplement. And it's very easy. Let's say we applied for January 1, but they didn't get back to us before December 7th. Let's say they got to it December 15th, 17th. And the worst case scenario, we'd have to move your effective date to February 1, but that's okay. It still works. It's the underwriting approval. It's the answering of the health questions that drives the whole thing. And as you can imagine, with over 50 million people on Medicare, more than half of those people are on Medicare supplements, and many of them want to change, move around, or move back and forth. This is the crazy time that all the insurance companies try to staff up for, but we will never be able to accommodate 50 million people moving around, or even 25 million during a 6-week period. So please have patience with us, but we need your information below. We need to know where you're located. Every plan is zip code specific. So we need your zip code. We need your current age. And if you believe that you're in good health, please put that in the notes down there. Because unless you're in New York, Connecticut, Vermont, you need to go through medical underwriting in most cases to get off of Medicare Advantage to go to original Medicare. So if you've had recent heart attack, stroke, cancer, just got out of the hospital for uncontrolled diabetes, those kinds of things, those are the typical triggers where we can't move to a Medicare supplement, and that may not be possible in that case. If you have anything going there, feel free to securely send it in this form. This is a secure encrypted website. So we need the best way to reach you. Your email address would be preferable, and your phone. And if you accept text messages on your phone, please put that too. Sometimes we play back and forth voicemail tag and it just doesn't work. So sometimes we can text if that's okay with you to do that. And lastly, when we call from our office, it will be from an 843 exchange on your phone. The caller ID should show Senior Savings Network and an 843 phone number. That's us. Please answer the phone when you can, because I assure you, during the Medicare season, we're doing all we can to call as many folks as we can and get them actually engaged in the phone so we can help. I'm Chris Westfall. Thanks for watching. If this was talking too fast, please play it again. We want to help you if you want to get from Medicare Advantage back to Medicare Supplement, but we need this critical information so we can do so. And the time frames, again, we can do this for January, February, or March. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.